12:02 in Edmonton. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're doing well on a rainy Friday. A little bit cloudy out there. We're excited. Rain or shine, we will have fun tonight. The Nasty Bash happening at the St. Albert Rugby Club. If you would like to join us, let a Wannick know. Text him at edmontonsportstalk.com. He likes to have a handle on numbers. It's going to be great. Looking forward to being down there. Our third annual Nasty Bash, the third of 4 EST majors. Reid Wilkins in for Dustin Nielson. Hernan Salas working the controls as always. He's got EST afternoons coming up. Reid, you and Jay will be live on location at the Nasty Bash for the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Yes, we will. From the St. Albert Rugby Club. Our show has a couple different elements to it today. We'll go from 3 to 4:30.
Yep.
Then Jay will remain on the stream with the Green and Gold Kickoff Show with a Wannick from 4:30 to 5:30. And then we'll wrap up the Reid Wilkins Show from 5:30 to 6 while the Elks are playing against the Montreal Alouettes. So it'll be a fun afternoon and a really fun evening. Always good to see the Nasties, all our loyal listeners and lovable audience members gather together. Should be a good night.
It's going to be awesome. Like I said, you can. I know we put it out to the Nasty Club members first. They get precedent, and then it opened up. But if you have nothing planned today, you want to come hang out with a bunch of Nasties and the EST crew, fire an email to a Wannick and let them know you are coming down. It's going to be a blast. Of course, the Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza, where you can check out the summer feature menu. Shout out to Jason and Lisa and the entire crew at Boston Pizza Clairview, where they hooked us up with the cherry cola beef sliders, Cajun chicken Caesar wrap, sweet heat chicken sandwich, fish tacos, pizza flight, summer pesto chicken pizza, fish and chips. It was phenomenal, and the beverages were great as well. Beautiful patio show on Wednesday. It's the deep part of the summer. We'll be talking about training camp in about what, a 4-week span.
Yeah. Well, is it the 18th it's starting?
I feel like it's going to be around there.
Days until September 21st. I have that. It's now 44 days until there's a preseason game. So about 40 until training camp starts.
Yeah, so we'll
crazy,
be knee-deep in hockey. Yeah. Quick, and don't worry, we have lots to talk about. In the meantime, we have a bunch of stuff. The Condors had a signing. It led me to thinking about something. We'll get into that. And I just want to say a couple of things. I want to send out a huge round of applause and a thank you to everyone who voted for me in the EST draft of birds. Got me over the hump. I think I finished at around 21%. And I did not get relegated. Justice for Tommy is served. Take that, Commissioner Quinn. You might be making your draft debut for yourself, not as a proxy for someone else. Because remember, you did the one draft. You were great.
Yeah.
I heard your
I
rant
can't remember who
day.
missed it. Did Jay miss it?
Somebody, yeah, I think maybe it was Jay. And I know Trev stepped in for Dusty at one point. But I heard your rant the other day. I loved it. You were very angry.
Well, I wasn't sure it was a rant. It was just some thoughts. A rant. I was totally under control.
It was
Knew
a rant.
Exactly what I was saying.
I know. You were poking the bear.
Oh, that's true.
You were a bit grumpy.
Well, I'm usually grumpy.
No, you're not. I find you to be a very pleasant individual.
Well, thank you.
So unfortunately, it looks like Jay will be relegated.
How come you're not going to be? Your team was terrible, quite frankly.
It was not a good draft. I had a bad draft. I admit that. But it was justice for Tommy because Quinn unfairly targeted me, penalized me, and continued to do so throughout the draft. I think it's the principle of it, and we rallied.
Okay. Well,
my team was not good. Trust me. I readily admit that. I will be better next time. I am more motivated than I was last time.
Well, Dusty said you didn't even do any prep.
I didn't.
You just were sitting there doing it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I did it, I noticed I didn't do as much prep as other people. I had 4 or 5 things for every category.
Yep.
And I didn't look anything up online. I just thought, okay, if this is a draft that should come, it should just come out of my head, spur of the moment.
I've done that before. I kind of tried to do that yesterday.
If I were to do the drafts, it would be you just go in there, and you're just told the overarching topic and the categories when you sit down.
Yeah.
Then it's a true test of your knowledge and your creativity on the fly.
Yes.
But it wouldn't be 19 rounds. It would be like 8.
That's not how it's done, as you know.
Well, if I ran it, that's what would happen.
I know. And didn't you say it should be like a half hour long, not 2 hours?
It should be a little quicker. I think it should be a little quicker.
Well, it's interesting how much people want to know what's going on with it. Because we had the audience in the summer, you know how it is. In the off season, it's very quiet. People are away. Not much in regard to outside. How many times in a week can you talk about a football loss from 4 or 5 days
quite
prior,
a bit.
right? Yeah, but there's, and then you start to look ahead to the next week, but it's the deep part of the summer. So these are interesting shows and people do tune into them. And there were quite a few that did the other day. Justice for Tommy.
No, it's quite amazing for me coming in from the outside and being aware of the drafts beforehand about the traction that they get.
They do get traction.
And about the controversy, which I really think is what all of you like, is the soap opera stuff around it,
right?
More than actually the cleverness of the picks or who wins the drafts or not. I think it's just all about the conflict and the infighting.
It's essentially a soap opera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So justice for Tommy has been served. I thank you all again. I didn't have a strong team. Fully admit that. I will come back stronger. I will have my vengeance against the commissioner. I know she has a punishment in order for me already.
She's just going to keep punishing
me. Oh, yeah.
Away.
And I'm going to roll with it. I mean, did you think it was clever that I traded away the 2% punishment to Dusty?
I guess. I mean, I wouldn't have allowed that. I mean, there shouldn't be trades in a draft.
There's a lot of things our commissioner does that I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know why you can trade. It doesn't really make sense to me in a draft like that. I mean, it's not part of a season.
Yeah,
or you're not banking future draft picks.
True,
but that was surprising, but good. I guess I get good thinking on your part to trade away your penalty.
Yeah,
so you didn't actually suffer the penalty though.
Nope, Dustin did.
Yes.
Anyway,
a lot of things happen that I don't understand, and I'm just starting to realize I just have to accept it.
Yeah,
because my input is not really wanted when it comes to the draft stuff.
That is fair. Okay, 10 minutes in, and we've talked about the draft. We got that out of the way. Thank you again to everybody who voted for my team. Not a great flock, if you will. However, we will come back stronger. I will deal with the punishment that Commissioner Quinn doles out to me next draft. Apparently, it's a nerd draft, is what the early talk is. And
can I pick myself if I'm in it?
Sure. Yeah, there's going to be 15 different categories, as you know. And I'll do the proper preparation and we'll be okay. So thank you. That's all I wanted to say. We got through it. You guys rallied, and I appreciate it very, very much. All right. A few things to talk about when it comes to the Oilers. And our thumbnail today is Leon having a heater from his wedding. Well, I just told Trev, I'm like, just put that on there just for fun. We're not going to talk too much about it, but yes, athletes do have cigarettes and cigars even while they're playing. Joe Burrow, remember when they won at LSU, and they're all smoking the cigars in the locker room?
Do you remember when the Journal got in trouble because they photoshopped out a photo of Jason Arnott with a cigar?
Really?
Yeah.
So this is like
I'm trying to remember this now. Yeah, it was in the 90s.
Mid-90s.
I thought
mid to
they
late
did.
90s.
Oh my God! Now I'm trying to Google it and I can't find it.
So what? This was off season.
So they did some sort of a profile of Arnott. I think it was the Journal. And there was the way I remember this is there was a photo of him leaning against the wall, and he was like wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Like it almost looked more like a Sunshine Boy photo, though it wasn't, and it was in the Journal. And people may remember they used to be owned by different companies.
Yes, they used to. I recall those days.
Wasn't just Post Media. This is just my memory of it. Maybe somebody can help me out. And so it was sort of one of those okay, let's get to know this guy behind the scenes. So they did this sort of photo of him.
Yeah.
And then I think they used the same photo at some other point in his career, or maybe when he was traded, maybe they did a retrospective and here's a look back on Arnott as an Oiler.
Yeah.
Something like that. And they photoshopped out the cigar.
So he was oddly holding.
So he just kind of had his hand. So he just kind of looked like he was leaning and had his hand
okay.
up. But I mean, people remembered that. I hope I'm remembering this properly. And I remember the Journal was under fire for like, well, that's not reporting. Like the photo looked a certain way, you published it a certain way, and now you're publishing it a different way.
So it's an
that's
ethics question.
dishonest, right? It was like an ethical thing.
Yeah.
But they took it out because, there was obviously, we've seen it in our lifetime that smoking has become less and less acceptable. Like now sometimes
it kills people. Literally.
Right. I know,
Yeah.
but sometimes when even a character smokes in a movie,
Sure.
They'll be like, oh, the director shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have had that character smoking or whatever. Like that's going to teach kids to do bad things or whatever.
Yeah.
Because wasn't there a controversy when Avatar came out that Sigourney Weaver's character smoked, and some people didn't like that? I know
it's
that
possible.
movie's almost 20 years old now, but
I remember the old scoreboard at Northlands Coliseum. It had remember Players cigarettes? Yeah. And I think Players was heavily involved in IndyCar.
Yeah, well,
and
tobacco advertising's been...
Right.
Yeah.
And they would have the huge Player ads over the scoreboard, the big screen on the old scoreboard. And I was like, oh, Players, yeah.
Because I think for a while... I wish Gager were here. I think F1 allowed tobacco advertising.
Wasn't Marlboro all over
I think they were all over the McLaren car or something like that.
Paul Tracy was Team Cool Green.
Yeah,
Cool
something
Green
like that.
Cigarettes.
Yeah, I think they held on to that. Now I don't think that's even allowed there.
Right.
I think that there's no tobacco advertising. But there was something to do with Arnott holding a cigar. But it's interesting. I know you put them up there as a joke.
Yes, and it was my call. I asked Trev to do it.
And I think people. Well, maybe I shouldn't speak for everybody. I mean, I understand that people smoke.
Yes.
I don't personally judge people. I mean, it's your choice.
Yes.
I'm not always like over the course of I remember even in the early 90s going to university. Like going to more of a, like a bar or something like that. Those were the places you could smoke. So you'd come home. I'd come home. I didn't smoke, but you'd come home and take your jacket off, and it would stink for a day or two.
Throw your clothes in the wash.
There's just cigarette smoke around, right?
I remember that.
But there used to be smoking and non-smoking sections in restaurants.
Yes.
I mean, now you can't smoke at all in restaurants. I don't think you can't smoke in bars or clubs or pubs anymore.
No, not here.
You have to go outside.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what other provinces or jurisdictions have.
I went to a steakhouse in Oklahoma City where they had a smoking section. It was glassed off. This was 12 years ago, but anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a lot. Sorry.
Oh, it was glassed off.
Yeah.
Get in the cage, smoker.
Basically.
It is. Though I do think it to me it's somewhat mildly shocking. I don't want to say like shocked to see a pro athlete with a cigarette in his mouth, because you think. But I accept the fact that this is not something they would do regularly when it comes to tobacco smoking. Right. Obviously.
Yeah.
Draisaitl's at his wedding. He's winding down.
Probably
Maybe
having a few
doing it
beverages.
as a joke. Who knows or whatever. But I believe Guy Lafleur smoked.
On the bench, apparently.
I think Mike Bossy smoked. Certainly Mario smoked.
Yeah.
I mean, Rob Brown told stories that they had a training camp and they didn't use their arena. Like they used some community arena that was by a school. So they changed like in the school gym and then walked across the soccer field.
Yep.
With their equipment on and their skates over their shoulder and went to the rink that was on the other side of the soccer field and put their skates on the bench. And Rob said Mario would be smoking as they walked to practice. And I think guys would smoke during the intermission as well. I'd be surprised now if in the NHL there's a player who would be a smoker.
Like a heavy smoker. There's probably
half a pack
few.
A day. You think so?
I don't know about a pack a day, but I'm sure there's a few that do smoke. I mean, the thumbnail has Leon with a cigarette in his mouth. But do you remember Sergei Zubov?
Yeah,
would smoke. Apparently, he would go into the showers of the locker room, and Ali Afredi, I remember on a broadcast, they had him, can't remember which team he was playing for. He bounced around quite a bit. He was a good defenseman in the NHL, but he was ripping on I think a cigar just outside the locker room. And they had like a cam to the locker room.
Oh, really?
They put it on the broadcast. He's leaning up in his gear and he's just having a cigar. So it does happen. It's not great. And you don't want kids picking up smoking because their favorite athletes are. But chew was huge when my last year of junior B was like 20 years ago. But everybody chewed. I chewed. It was terrible. I shouldn't have. It was bad for your teeth.
Right.
Now they have the little pouches. I think they're called Zims. You get the tobacco, but you get the nicotine, but not the tobacco. So and they come in those little pouches.
Yeah.
A lot of hockey players indulge in those. So it does have. It's always been around hockey.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not great.
I just want I just wonder how many full-time NHL players would, because to me, if you're a smoker, I don't even know. You're smoking what, half a pack a day?
Yeah, I guess
half dozen cigarettes a day, like you're getting a cigarette,
right?
So yeah, I don't know how many players currently would do that, given the how fitness is stressed and how they're tested, and the days of getting in shape during training camp are done. Like you're expect. I mean, like we were just talking about the schedule. There's going to be training camp, and then within 3 or 4 days there will be a game. Yes, it will be an exhibition game, but it will be a game where other players on the other team will be trying to hit you.
Correct.
I think they would have 2 weeks of camp before they even play a game.
Yeah.
And they play 11 preseason games. So anyway, it is interesting. Like, do I think Leon Draisaitl smokes cigarettes during the season? I doubt it. Or if he does, probably not very many. Or for him, it's maybe just almost a thing like, I'm letting my hair down a little bit. I'm going to give myself
that.
Yeah, I'm going to give myself a cigarette or two just to be a little rebellious or to be off the clock for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was kind of a funny photo. I wonder how those guys feel about all that. I guess they're probably immune to it after a while. He posted it. Was that on his account?
He put it on his Instagram.
I see stuff like that. I don't pay too much attention.
Yeah. No, he put it on his account. So it was just, I thought it was funny. I mean, I'm not going to question a guy who scores 50 automatically, essentially every year.
Yeah, well, and Bossy too, right? Apparently he was a regular smoker. He was the king of scoring 50 every year.
Like, listen, I'm not going to condone it, but I'll laugh and be like, let your hair, like you said, let your hair down. It's a big day for you. Probably had a few beverages and like, you know what? Give me a heater. I'm going to fire up a dart.
I wish I could remember
this Jason Arnott thing.
Yeah, I wish I could remember this more accurately.
If anybody recalls
maybe someday I'll find. Nobody's put anything in.
Text us 780-218-9999. Getting the message.
Photo though. I can see the photo, and then something else happened, and there was a bit of a controversy about it.
Glenn Sather always had a cigar. Wayne Gretzky smoked cigars. Keith Gretzky smoked cigars. Cigars are a big thing.
But didn't
Michael Jordan cigars all the time?
Didn't Sather, though, chew on an unlit cigar when he was a GM?
Yeah.
It was like a nervous tick or something to...
Like a crutch, like having a pen on a show.
Yeah, because I think he would have it in the press box, but I don't know if he'd actually be smoking it.
Right.
I think he just was chewing on it.
Chews on it, which is not great either, because you're getting that tobacco in your mouth.
Right.
But maybe you're not inhaling the smoke. So I don't know. Maybe. Sure. But it's, he's got a fat stogie in his mouth and sitting there for hours. Like, that's not good for you either. Anyway, text us if you remember the picture Reid is talking about Jason Arnott with a cigar in his mouth that got apparently photoshopped and they ran it and it was an ethics question. 780-218-9999. Troll texting and says, it's weird for advertisers to care so much about cigarettes yet advertise booze and gambling. Also, fast food and such kills so many people too. Yet that's okay. Yeah,
I get that. Point. I mean, that's a whole other debate about all that type of stuff.
Sure.
But
like now I saw a report like plastics and microplastics are literally in our bodies and in everything, in the water that we drink and the food that we eat. Like it's gotten to the point where it's unavoidable. Library Pat texting in says, Habby Bullen was a smoker, right?
Oh, was he?
I think so, but I don't I traveled with him the 1 year and I don't really remember seeing him smoke, but I didn't make a point of hanging out around him all that much.
Yeah, we didn't follow them around.
No. Cole Harbor Joe says, can we get Hernan to chime in on this topic? Poop Stains, funny handle, says, Reid, you will need to pick first for that, but that is an honor in regard to the nerd draft.
Yeah, well, again, I don't know what the categories are going to be. Who picks the categories? Don't Dustin and Eric pick them?
There's a bit of a conglomerate, too. They take input from our audience and the Nasties as well. So we'll see. I mean, I think we have a little bit of time before the next draft.
That's fine.
This past one certainly caused a commotion. And again, Tommy's back, baby. Justice for Tommy. All right, let's move on here. Portions of this hour brought to you by Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen. We're inside the Popeyes studio here at EST. Check out their chicken dippers. They're delicious. They're new. And try them with their signature sauces. I love the blackened ranch, the chicken dippers, if you're going, what the heck is that? Basically like chicken fingers, but fry version. They're thinner, they're breaded, and you know how Popeyes does the breaded chicken really well. It's a bigger, more robust breading on their chicken at Popeyes.
Popeyes has good stuff.
You love Popeyes, and then they have their chicken wraps, and you love the snacker menu. Right?
Well, I especially like the, what are they, the blackened cauliflower?
Yeah, those are surprisingly very good.
And Popeyes gives out the coupons, what was it, if the Elks score 30, which they did against Ottawa?
Yeah.
Is it 30 or 28? I think it's 30.
Yep.
That you get a piece of chicken. I went and got it. I think it's a piece of chicken and a biscuit for free. And it's not
How's the
like...
biscuit? Is it good? I don't like biscuits generally.
Yeah, the chicken was better, though.
And then you can check out their offers. They have a bunch of deals that they do. Oh, like the 8-piece nuggets, $8.49. That's pretty good.
Brad Marchand's in the nasty chat.
Oh, hey, Brad.
Blizzards create winners. Smokes are for jokes. I really appreciate Brad's loyalty listening to Edmonton Sports Talk.
Should do it in
well, we are.
form.
I mean, we are the best sports station, I think, anywhere. So I guess if he wants to get the information and be entertained, that's where Brad Marchand would come.
Probably the most listened to sports station in the city, too.
So he's probably back somewhere in Ontario, or what do they call it in Ontario?
Cottage country,
Muskoka. Is that where everybody goes?
That's right.
Which actually isn't that far away from Toronto, is it?
I think it's a couple hours, something like that. That's where they hang out. That's where they play beer league hockey.
Oh, is that where Leon and Connor's team was down 4-0 after the first period? Why would Leon go out there?
I think he has a place out there, too.
And the place off the coast of Spain.
How
does he afford it?
Well, he makes $14 million plus a year.
No, not yet.
Oh, this year he will.
This year, well, how much did he get on July 1st? By the way,
that's how they did Connor's deal too. Like
Connor
$1 million
got a whole
salary,
bunch of money on. Actually, I have the Orders Puckpedia page.
Yeah, the
open
bonuses
right now.
was July 1st.
Yeah, most of Connor's money for his current contract, I think he got on July 1st, and the reason, I think part of the reason the players did that was that the lockouts are always and strikes are always September 15th.
Yes.
So if there's a season that gets wiped out by hockey and a guy's making $10 million, he already got $8, or whatever. Leon is getting, so for 25-26, he actually is getting, okay, so this year Leon is getting $16.5 million. Yeah. So his average annual value was 14. So during the season, Leon Draisaitl will only receive $1 million divided by 6 or 7 or whatever they only actually get paid. Do they get paid during the preseason?
Bi-weekly.
Okay, but they don't get paid in the playoffs.
I don't think
there's no
it kicks
salary
until
in the playoffs.
Is it training camp or the beginning of the season where the pay periods begin?
But his signing bonus was $15.5 million, which I think they're all on July 1st, aren't they?
Yeah, usually.
So, right. So during the season in this current contract, Leon Draisaitl never makes more than $1 million.
Right.
He has signing bonuses. I'll go through the entire. Actually, the page isn't even wide enough to see every year. I'll go through the first 7 years. Oh, no, there's 8 years there. 15.5, 15.5, 15.5, 13, 11.5, 11, 11, and 11. So he's getting all that on July 1 every year.
Mm-hmm. That's how they do it.
Yeah. And let me just... Yeah, and he has a no movement clause, which is fine.
Yes. And then also I mentioned on the oil stream on Wednesday when we were live on location at Boston Pizza that I know some people are like worried, oh, is McDavid leaving? No, because him and Leon are like frickin' frack, obviously. Connor was on a bit of the honeymoon with the Draisaitls.
Yeah.
They have the places in Muskoka. And then Connor is, trying to talk to other players to see if they can come to Edmonton, but not by tampering. But just, hey, hey.
Can you imagine these conversations when these guys are playing beer league hockey in the summer?
Just like, hey,
how much stuff
They do
that would
talk about
actually be
stuff.
tampering?
Right.
But then again, it's not an employer.
Right.
It'd be different if,
But if my point is, if he's saying, hey, player X,
yeah,
you should come to Edmonton, man. We got a good thing going. If things don't work out, would you be open to it? Like if he's trying to do that and he's thinking a couple years down the road, that's not a guy that's about to leave. That's the point I'm making.
Well, I mean, clearly there was a pre-existing relationship with Fogle, though he was traded here and then signed to an extension.
That's right.
But they probably knew Hyman, right? You think?
Well, maybe not. Maybe.
I can't remember.
Maybe through the grapevine.
Yeah, so Muskoka's the region of Muskoka. It's like straight north of Toronto, like north of Barrie, around Parry Sound.
Okay.
Which is considered northern Ontario, even though...
But it's at the bottom of the...
It's on the
lake.
East tip of Lake Huron. Yeah. So, yeah, it's not far from Toronto.
No.
It's probably 2 or 3 hours door to door if you got a cottage up there. Not a cabin, a cottage.
Not a cabin.
No.
Anyway, I wanted to get to... There's a few things I wanted to hit on. We're midway through the show. Text us if you have anything you want to say.
Sorry, am I distracting to be on air with?
No.
Okay. Well, as I meander with my topics and stuff, I'm sorry.
We don't get to
you
work
had
together
all
all
this
the time.
focused work that you had.
This is chicken scratch. I said, do you want to talk about these things? You looked at it, you're like, maybe.
That would have been a good bird saying, chicken scratch.
That would
have been a good bird saying for the draft.
You didn't like two birds stoned at once.
I never watched Trailer Park Boys.
Okay.
I have seen, as you know, I don't look on Twitter or social media a lot, but once a buddy showed me a thread of people on Twitter who were not fans of mine, and they were calling me Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys and posting pictures. And I was just like, I don't know, am I like that guy? Do I look like him? Okay.
Not really. In our line of work.
Yeah, that's pretty mild.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if that brought people joy for a few minutes, I'm happy to have provided that.
Yeah. I don't think you look like Bubbles at all.
Doesn't he have glasses? Thick glasses like I do?
Yeah, but and his the eyes pop out and look like bug eyes kind of.
Oh, okay.
And he talks funny. And
Does he have a retinal detachment?
I know a guy that overcame a retinal detachment recently and is doing quite well. Well to quite well, I would say. Anyway, can I ask you a couple things?
Yes.
I'm curious to know what you think of this. So I was on the Bakersfield Condors Instagram today, and they announced a signing a couple hours ago. Mason Millman.
All right.
Had been playing for Providence. It's a defenseman, 1 year, one-way AHL contract. And I was like, it's going to be interesting to see what Bakersfield looks like roster-wise this year. So I said, where is the Oilers' organizational depth at, in your opinion, when you look at it? And I know because they're in the win now window, they trade away a lot of assets, prospects. I think you said you saw Reid Schaefer last week.
I did briefly talk to Reid Schaefer at Taste of Edmonton, yeah.
Yeah, nice kid, and Edmonton area, got traded to Nashville. Where do you think the depth is at? And how do you rebuild it while you're in a window to win a Stanley Cup?
Well, you have to draft extremely cleverly, which I don't know if they're doing, Tom. We may not know that for a while. Like I was looking at the Oilers draft picks. There has not been an Oilers draft pick in the last. Okay, there's only one draft pick made by the Oilers since 2020, including 2020 and beyond, to have played in the NHL, and he's now no longer an Oiler.
That's Dylan Holloway.
It's Dylan Holloway.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess some of these guys will find out. You would like somebody to cash in as perhaps even a depth forward. I mean, don't they like this Clattenburg kid to some extent? But
he's feisty.
He just debuted one game with Bakersfield last season.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's somebody who's a third or fourth liner.
I think he got hurt in that game.
Did he? Okay.
I believe so.
I mean, Bo Akey is an interesting name, right? Who made the World Junior team.
Yep.
Didn't have a great season with Barrie. And I think he was hurt the previous season looking at his... He had 32 points in 52 games. In the year he was drafted in 23, he had 47 in 66. But he's perhaps somebody who could be, a defenseman that fills in. Do they still have the rights to Nathaniel Day, the goaltender? I can't even remember.
But they don't have him on the Condors roster. I don't know where he's at.
Okay. I mean, they traded away Schaefer. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to see with some of these. I mean, there's a couple other goaltenders that you wonder about. Now, they no longer have, so they traded away the rights to, where am I here? So going back to 2019, Broberg's gone, Lavoie's gone. Is he still with Vegas after the claiming back and forth?
Yep.
Konovalov's gone. And they were kind of high on him for a while.
Yeah, that fell off a cliff very quickly.
And then the other guys, 2020, Holloway's obviously gone. Carter Savoy, they no longer have the rights to.
Correct.
Tulio, they no longer have the rights to.
Correct.
And then I won't go down in every draft. Xavier Bourgault,
they traded for Roby Yarventi.
No longer have the rights to.
But they re-signed Yarventi.
Right. Because he was hurt.
He was coming off a major knee injury.
Munzenberger, they wound up not... Didn't they lose the rights to him?
I think so.
So that's not great. Chason, they no longer have, right?
I think they traded him away.
Do they still have Matvey Petrov?
They do,
he played last season.
Last I heard, he was probably heading back
9
to
goals.
KHL. Or Russia, pardon me.
Max Warner, they traded, right?
Yes.
For Max Jones. He was part of that trade.
Yep.
Shane LaChance, I'm not even sure. Oh, he's NCAA.
Did they not trade him too?
Or his rights gone?
People were upset about that one.
Oh, yeah, he was traded for Frederick. Sorry. Yeah, he was in the Frederick trade.
Yep.
So that's just going back a couple of years. So at some point, you would like to have 2 or 3 players on the roster while McDavid and Draisaitl are still playing who are at least good 3rd or 4th liners, or maybe Bo Akey, like you're a 4 or 5 defenseman.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of offensively maybe Bouchard very light.
Sure.
Is what I understand, which is okay. Like, you got to move the puck in this league. I mean, eventually you might not have Kulak or whoever on the roster.
Well, those guys are going to age out.
Right.
They're in their early 30s, creeping into their mid-30s.
And then the next contract, if they want 4 or 5 years, the others say, well, we don't want to give you more than a couple.
Yes.
Are they talking about 8 years with Wallman, by the way?
That I don't know. I haven't followed up. I've been in off-season mode.
But they're going to want to retain Wallman. That's another storyline to watch, right? Maybe an extension for him. No, I think he was good.
Yeah.
I think he moves the puck. I think he's fine as a defender. I think he showed a lot of kind of gamesmanship in the playoffs. Like, he was surprisingly yappy, I thought, whenever you saw him. Like, I didn't know what to expect. But I don't mind that. Yeah.
I like talking to him too. Have you had a chance to just sit down and chat with him?
Just in
okay.
scrums.
I've talked to him a little bit, off mic, off camera, off the record, and he's just a dude.
Right.
Just a guy that's like, I like hockey, video games, and sneakers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think, but if you're, I would say the Oilers' organizational depth is at best below average and maybe bordering on poor, quite frankly.
Fair.
I mean, even a few years ago, it was like, well, you can call up Yamamoto or
Puljujärvi,
or you can call up Puljujärvi, or, like, now it's kind of like, who are you going to call up from the minors? Well,
James Hamblin.
Yeah, I mean, Savoy will be here.
Yeah.
Howard will be here most likely. I mean, maybe one of them starts in the AHL and then is up, but it's not like they have 4 or 5 guys ready to burst up from the American Hockey League. At least the way I'm looking at it.
That is fair. And that leads me to the next point. Like I was wondering that question about the depth in the organization, and then speaking of Ike Howard, are we collectively, fans, media, overhyping him right now and expecting too much from a guy who was a first rounder, is a first rounder? I hate when people say former first rounder. He's a first rounder.
He was a first rounder, sure.
2022. Yeah. Is he being overhyped, and is there too much expectation from the outside being placed on this kid?
I don't think so. I mean, look, we hear from like literally thousands of fans.
Yes.
So, we get the extent of every Oiler player, manager, and coach sucks, and they're going to finish 30th.
I've heard that before.
They're the greatest team ever. No, we don't actually get a lot of that. Even the most optimistic fans are usually still okay. We got to see. I don't. Here's the thing with Ike Howard. I don't get the sense from my show anyway that people are like, oh my God, he's going to be the next coming of Yari Curry. I don't get that sense.
Okay.
I think it's fair to have cautious optimism about him.
Agreed.
I think that, and we've talked about this a lot, every year or every generation of players, if you want to look at like a 3 or 4 year span, maybe from, if you look at a group of 17 to 21 year olds and then the next set of them, every generation, I think the NCAA is putting out better and better players.
And it's only going to get better.
Because they're attracting better and better players.
That's right.
They're not just getting top American players anymore and the odd Canadian. They're getting top Americans and now some of the top Canadians who might be in both the WHL and the NCAA now. So I think the NCAA is now becoming a training ground for the NHL because they are playing NHL style hockey. I think there was an era where basically nobody came out of the NCAA, like very few.
Right.
And then maybe there was an era where you'd get skilled guys out of the NCAA, but it'd be like, soft college boy.
Yes.
He's
80s, early 90s.
He's fine. He's fine in the games where there's no checking, but once it gets into the playoffs, he doesn't do anything. Now, the NCAA, to use like an overused phrase, plays heavy hockey, like plays more and more on the inside. Like you have to be that type of player. So for him to get 26 goals in 37 games last year with Michigan State,
and they weren't chintzy goals.
No, I think is a good sign. And let's face it, not every WHL goal scorer. I mean, St. Croix for the
Michael St. Croix?
First times the Oil Kings got good.
Yep,
he scored a ton of goals.
He did.
Never came close to the NHL because he scored from the outside and he scored with other guys doing a lot of the work before he shot the puck. So he had a good shot, but he didn't really have an NHL game.
Rangers draft pick, got a cup of coffee with the Hartford Wolfpack, if I believe correctly.
Yes. Yeah. So, good junior player. So not all the junior players' stats translate to the NHL either, but I think the way Howard plays, there are some good signs. And like the Oilers need him to be productive. Like he's 21. He's not 18 or 19. Okay. So he's played a good level of hockey. He's been successful. I don't think low to mid teens is an excessive expectation for Howard.
Goal wise.
Oh,
yeah, that's fair.
Like if he gets 12 or 13 goals, I think that's okay.
Same.
If he gets 15 to 20, I think that's a really good season.
Yep.
Now, he's going to have to do it night after night. And whenever I bring this up, people say, Reid, 82 games, not 40. The NHL is not a weekend league. It's harder. I agree. It is harder. Maybe he doesn't play every night. Maybe he's not great every night. But I do think he works to get to those important areas of the ice. So I think him having a decent goal-scoring season, I don't think that's unrealistic. I don't think that's excessive. I don't think that's hoping for something that's unachievable.
Good point. With Ike Howard, I just hope that we collectively, fans, media, give him the time to grow into a consistent NHL player and not dog him if he's having some struggles. So A lot of potential there. All right, my next question for you here on the Oil Stream, Todd Gazzola, Reid Wilkins with you, is with Ike Howard coming in. Have we kind of forgotten Matt Savoy or disregarded him a little bit because Howard's gotten the spotlight after the trade?
I don't think so. I think Savoy is still a highly important prospect. And I think you have to hope for him that he can score in the teens,
Yeah.
or at least get to double digits, be a 10-goal scorer. He had 19 in Bakersfield last year.
Very strong season.
But he also had, 54 points in 66 games. Pretty good.
Yep.
Had the one assist when he got into those 4 NHL games with the Oilers. So, again, he's of the age, he's going to turn 22 on New Year's Day, where he's like, I don't view those as young players anymore. Like once you're 21, 22, 23, you're not a young player in terms of inexperience.
Mm-hmm.
You're maybe you're a newer player, or you're a fresher player, or you're earlier in your career, but it's not, to me, in my mind, it's not unrealistic to expect a 21, 22-year-old player to be a key contributor on the team. When I say key, I'm not saying like leading contributor,
right?
But I'm saying having a role and chipping in with goals on offense and knowing what to do in an NHL game.
It's okay to give those guys some responsibility.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you have to have players of that age who can perform, right? And I mean, and that's why, again, the Holloway-Broberg loss was so lamented, because they actually did that in the playoffs.
Yes.
Like neither guy was a star player, but Holloway scored some good goals. Broberg got in as the playoffs went on and looked like he could hold his own. So you're not expecting these guys to be stars, but I don't think it's unfair to say, okay, you got to be a really good support player. You have to know your role and do it night after night.
I don't think those guys either, when I expect them to make the team, unless they have really bad training camps, but I feel like if you give them a little bit of responsibility and enable them and kind of not like hype them up, but put them in a positive environment and frame of mind, I think they seem like the type of guys that'll take that and run with it.
Yes. Well, you have to tell them to go be themselves.
Yeah.
To go, I mean, this goes back to the whole McClellan's role in Draisaitl's development. You can be the first star, Leon. Like, you're good.
Go ahead.
Don't wait for Connor to do it. And I think Leon has that personality to begin with, but I also think McClellan did help that.
Yes.
And then he got to be on a line with Connor McDavid and was like, oh, well, I'm helping him as well as him helping me. And I like, no, not a single person that I can remember. Even when Draisaitl had the breakout year in 16-17, I think it was 77 points in 82 games. Yes. I think 25 goals. Even then, I don't think anybody saw him as a multiple 50-goal scorer.
No, that's true, because remember he signed the contract and people were like, what are you doing, Peter Chiarelli?
Right.
And it turned out to be a brilliant contract.
And that may have been one of Chiarelli's best moves.
Absolutely.
That they basically had Draisaitl on a discount deal the last 6 or 7 years.
Yes.
Maybe longer. I mean, he won a Hart Trophy, scored 50 goals. What does he have, 4 times now?
Yeah. It's pretty much every year. I think, was it the shortened season he didn't hit 50? But outside of that.
So, I mean, again, I'm not saying Savoy or Howard are going to be Draisaitl, but I think it's okay to tell you. And I do think, 4 times. So starting, I got to sneeze. Hang on.
Bless you. Beforehand. Bless you, yes. Are you okay?
Yeah, it's sneeze.
Attaboy.
Sorry about that.
He's okay.
So, but I also think Knobloch, what we've seen from him is that he really empowers players to make plays and to be themselves.
And that's huge.
Right. And who have we seen as a really young player under Knobloch? Has there been anybody comparable to Howard and Savoy yet? Maybe Holloway to some extent.
You can't put, Ryan McLeod, but not really. I guess Ryan McLeod somewhat. But McLeod had been up and down for a couple of years.
Right.
And then the other thing, too, is Knobloch came in part way through 23-24. It was November, right?
Right.
And McLeod was hurt at times. Outside of that, there really hasn't been young guys, fresh faces on the roster.
Right.
outside of a call-up here or there.
So sorry, Leon had 29 goals in 16-17. So even when he got to 29 in his second full season in the NHL, did anybody see him being a multiple 50-goal scorer? I don't think I did.
No. 18-19 is when he hit 50 for the first time. 43 the next year. Then the 2 shortened seasons due to the pandemic. 30.
No, 43 was short.
Or pardon me, yeah, short.
So
he would have been on his way
flirting with 50.
31 and
7
50.
goals in 11 games.
Yeah. Then 55, then 52, 41 in 23-24, 52 last season.
In only 71 games.
He's good for, you can pencil him in for 50 every year, basically, right now.
So anyway, again, not Howard and Savoy aren't going to score like that.
But if you
in an
them,
environment where it's like, go score, like get to the net. Don't
15.
worry about missing a shot or two.
Yeah. 15, I think 15 goals for either one of those guys or both. 35 points is reasonable, and I would categorize that as good. Anything more than that, I'd say great job. And it's possible that they do better. But
sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. I have a question to ask. It's the over/under.
And what were Arvidsson and Skinner? Didn't one have 16 and one had 15?
Yeah. And the price point was
right
when we look at it.
I was saying this the other day,
bad.
like as those guys were picked on to some extent all season long.
Yes.
The Skinner discussion was an interesting one. And now that they're not on the team, it's like, well, that's 31 goals gone. Where are we going to get it from?
Those two,
well,
potentially.
Or Frederick. Yeah.
Or Frederick, yeah. If he can get back to the 17, 18 goal seasons that he had a couple of years ago.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay, that brings us to, by the way, just talking to Benny Thompson, he says that through his friends and connections that Ike Howard and Matt Savoy may live together. So even if they become good buddies.
Isn't that nice?
That would be like the stepbrothers.
Well, isn't Savoy's family in St. Albert?
Yeah, but I mean, you'd probably want a little bit of separation, wouldn't you?
Well, I guess he's been away from home for a couple of years.
So apparently there's discussion
a few years.
Of a place those two could be the young guys on the team as buddies and maybe a budding friendship. Maybe, but it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like something a little bigger and not as close to the arena, although some people choose to be close to the arena. I have this for over-under, brought to you by our good friends over at Play Alberta. You can skip the flight to Vegas because jackpots are just a tap away. Experience all the thrills of the casino right from your phone with Play Alberta. Download the app and deposit $20 using the EST exclusive promo code 100casino for a $100 casino bonus. I had this. Over under 0.5. One of Howard or Savoy gets sent down to the AHL at some point next season.
Oh, I don't know, Tom.
But that's why we're doing it. We do this because it's fun.
I'll say at some point, maybe one of them starts the season.
So the over.
I'll take the over.
I'm taking the over as well.
Sure.
And I don't want to be pessimistic, but I look at Rutger McGroarty with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Remember him?
Vaguely.
Remember he wanted out from Winnipeg, caused the commotion.
Oh, okay.
Got the trade, starts the year with the Pens.
I got to look him up.
Only played 8 games.
Oh, really?
And he had a lot of hype around him.
It took me to the page of someone named Ryan Rutgers.
Rutger is the name you like, or is it the McGroarty part?
McGroarty. Both. That's a good name.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
Strong name. That's why I bring it up. And like, we have these discussions. We do these shows in the off season. And we go, what about this guy? Well, I'm at 20 goals. Sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah, once the games start and you see you're reminded how hard it is to score in the NHL, sure. But yeah, it's possible one or both of them won't pan out.
They've played 5 NHL games between the two of them.
Right. That's why I don't want to expect too much. But like we need rookies to get some goals.
Yes. And you like these rookies. I like them. I'm enticed by them.
Well, for sure. And I thought Savoy looked decent when he got in the NHL last year.
So did I.
But like they need those guys to contribute.
After the loss of Broberg and Holloway, you need to hit on a couple of these guys. And hopefully for the Oilers and the fan base sake, it pans out.
Yeah.
I want to get to some text, but it's not loading right. What say you? 780-218-9999. Benny Thompson, what do you think?
Hey, Ben.
Over under, one of those guys gets sent down. I put it at 0.5.
I'll be hopeful and say under. Like I think it's a little bit different now with this Oilers roster with like how they're needing these guys to produce now. And like I think previous to this year, it was like, oh, if a rookie comes out and blows our socks off, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, they got to play a little bit of hardball with these rookies. This year they need them to help out here. Like they need some guys on ELCs to keep them under the cap limit.
Yeah. Quote unquote cheap guys who contribute.
Exactly.
Right?
So
ELC guys do that.
Yeah. So you hope they do that. Who knows if they're ready or not? I think they will be, but you know, we'll see. But yeah, I think I hope it's under, but you need these guys to help. I'm not saying top 6 and put up 50 points each, but help out a little bit. Like
Enable them.
Yeah. I'd like to see one of them have at least double-digit goals. That'd be cool.
I think it's doable for both.
Yeah. 100%.
We'll see how it goes. Troll texting in says, I was just going to say, who knows, one or both of Howard and Savoy might play games in the AHL this year. We don't know what those guys are yet. Also, Troll enjoyed 2 birds stoned at once. He said it's great. Something with poop hawks would be good too. I didn't use the actual word that they used in Trailer Park Boys.
Oh my goodness.
Troll, appreciate that. Big Maple says, fun fact, Clattenburg is the last name of the creator of Trailer Park Boys. I believe that's Mike Clattenburg.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Speaking of comedy, you had Colin Mockery on yesterday. How
Yes,
was
we did.
that?
It was awesome. It was a privilege to interview him.
Great get.
Yeah, he was very, very, very funny, but very honest.
Mm-hmm.
And he told some stories about earlier in his career and getting into acting and doing comedy, and talked about, you know, kind of getting the fame out of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Great show.
And being at Edmonton Fringe. So yeah, he was good. It was really cool to have him on the show. I mean, that was neat. So
Awesome
he's in
guy.
Vancouver right now. I can't remember I think he's obviously doing something there. Is a Leafs fan. So we talked about that, though. He's been a bit of a nomad with his teams he supports too, depending on where he's lived and stuff like that. But he does like the Leafs now. And then Kevin Galice came on, who
That's your friend.
who I know
Yeah.
just from him being a Fringe performer and being in Scratch. So Scratch is the guys I love at the Fringe.
Yeah.
I said 25 years. He said it's not quite 25 years, but I saw them probably 15 years ago for the first time.
Okay.
So they take 3 suggestions from the audience and do a 1-hour play. And they're,
Amazing.
and they're
On the spot like
hilarious
that.
on the spot. And
That's
the story, I mean, the story's comedic, but it kind of makes sense, and they tie all the characters together. But they're, you know, funny, weird guys in a good way.
I like that.
So Kevin wrote a movie called How to Ruin the Holidays, and Arlen, who's the other guy in Scratch, directed it a couple years ago. And Colin Mockery's one of the stars. He plays the dad of the family that's in it. So that's how, you know, I messaged. And Kevin had called into Overtime Open Line a few times. He's
Big Oilers guy.
He's in Atlanta now.
Nice.
So yeah, about a month and a half ago, I just messaged him. I was like, "Is there any way Colin Mockery would come on?" He's like, "Yeah, he probably would. Let's just keep in touch about it." And then that was the time set up yesterday. So I think the show is Colin's Back. It's at the Fringe, fringetheater.ca. I already got tickets. If you want to go, it is at the Garneau, but I think it'll be a hot commodity. So
Home of
you may want to get
the
tickets ahead of
Estes.
time.
Love it.
And go to other Fringe shows. Check
That's
them out.
great.
Go see Scratch. Go see whoever.
Good vibe at the Fringe. You're going to be there. You're going to take some time away from here. It's the right time of year to do that. What do you got coming up today on the show?
We're at the St. Albert Rugby Club, so we'll tee up Elks and Owls. Steve Hogle from the Riverhawks is going to hop on. We got someone from the Huskies because we got a special broadcast from their game on Sunday.
Love it. That is the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. It's going to be abbreviated because of the Green and Gold kickoff show. That's happening down at the St. Albert Rugby Club at the Nasty Bash. Benny T, what's coming up on EST Afternoons?
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit of Riverhawks with the playoffs. Obviously, tee up the Elks and Alouettes game tonight.
Excellent.
That'll be big. So yeah, we got a good action-packed show. We'll have Who Dis, the player,
like Who
the player,
Dis.
Oh, that's fun.
the player for Who Dis
fun.
is pretty good today. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Awesome. That's coming up next on EST Afternoons. That's going to do it for the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza. Big thank you to Play Alberta and Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen. For Reid and Benny, I'm Tommy saying thanks for listening. Thank you for watching. We will talk to you later and see you at the Nasty Bash. Ciao for now.